right, and we're back with Prehospital Paradigm Podcast. I'm Caleb Ferroni. I'm in for Scott today. And to my right is a normal Dr. John Hill. And then we have our special guest today, Kim Florjak and Sharon Kozol. And they're both with Cleveland EMS Division. And they're both Sergeants of Education and Training Clinical Coordinators, correct?
Correct.
Yes, I have almost as many titles as I do.
Well, Kim's a clinical coordinator.
All right. No, it's great to have you guys here, especially, I mean, it's such a diverse look at EMS that we don't often get to see that side of it. I mean, a little research before the show, I came up with the fact that you're running 120,000 calls plus a year, an average of 73,000 transports in a year. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, a lot of this county in total doesn't do that. So can you give us a history and background about Cleveland EMS and maybe how did you get there? And
Okay. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, sure.
I personally, my aunt used to work for Cleveland EMS, and that's one of the reasons I started. She used to tell me these crazy stories, and I was 15, 16 years old thinking, wow, that sounds so much fun.
Can't be real, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, some of the stuff she would say, I would just be like, there's no way. And she was a good storyteller, so it made it even better.
Is she Italian by chance?
Irish. So then I knew I wanted to do something like not in an office. Now we're in an office. But something to get out there and help people and have fun. And so that's how I got into it. So I went to EMT school and then got my paramedic. I went to EMT school at 18 and then got hired at Cleveland EMS at 21 and went to paramedic school through the city of Cleveland and then got my EMSI and then I was hired in 2005. So I've been there 20 years come December.
That's awesome.
And I've been a sergeant for a year and a half.
Yeah, great.
That's awesome.
Kim?
So I worked hospice for a really long time.
Oh.
And then I kind of was like, I don't want to be there.
I want to save them,
I
not let them
want
go.
to help. So I went and got my EMT. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Started working in the ERs after my paramedic. And I was kind of like, someone said, Cleveland EMS is hiring. I said, I'll try it. Here I am 13 years later, and I love every minute of it. So I went.
What'd you do in hospice before?
So I was an aide.
Okay.
So I'd go in and help with, the active dying and taking care of patients and families and education and all of those things. So it was an amazing job. I loved it. But
You'd be the perfect person to call on that type of a call, though.
yes.
Get Kim in here. Let's talk to the family.
And that it has helped me significantly on the job, though, too. Going in, I'm able to talk to family members. I'm not, when you have a cardiac arrest and you're working the cardiac arrest, it's easier for me to really stop and look at the family and explain the situation, what we're doing, what's happening, and ultimately, if we have to pronounce, then it's easier for me to talk to them. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's something that actually paramedics don't get a lot of training in.
No.
Talking to the family after pronouncing their loved one dead. That's something that I've always thought we should have a little more coaching. And the ACLS program has some, like when you take ACLS, and there's some in the paramedic curriculum, but
not a lot.
Not a lot.
I agree. And I think we're all instructors at this table. And one of the things I can definitely guarantee and agree with you on is that we don't teach enough about that side of the job. And the one thing I do stress is patient advocacy. Any of my students will tell you that. But part of that is the fact that when you go into that situation, sometimes you have more than one patient. Then you have the whole family. And we're not ready for that a lot of times. So how weird was that the first time you had to tell a family member, like, I can't do anything? Like,
on the job here?
Not so much for you because you had already had.
Yeah. And I go into it as I'm going to do the best that I can. And sometimes, unfortunately, I have that toolbox and I used all those tools and I didn't get the outcome that we all hoped for. So it's a little bit easier for me, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically ever struggling personally with that. I do remember always saying in my head, say that they're dead. Because you're not supposed to say they passed.
Right.
So I always made sure that your loved one has died. I'm really sorry for your loss. And just tried to be as supportive. Is there anyone we can call, that kind of stuff. But I don't remember specifically that I personally had struggles with it. But I do think that overall we could definitely have more training and support. We hire 18, 19-year-old kids, and they're going in and pronouncing people dead.
And it's a hard concept, isn't it? So, the overview of Cleveland in your EMS structure. You're not part of the fire service. I think back in the day it was. And you just had a celebration of 50 years, right?
We did, and we've never been. We've always been a separate third service, from what I'm aware of. So we work with the fire department directly, but we've always been and up until maybe, I want to say 8 to 10 years ago, we were not in all firehouses. So we were in police stations or old hospitals or whatever. So we started standalone houses. So over the last 8
That's
to
how
10 years.
EMS grew up.
Right.
Standalone houses.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
And then we started going into the firehouses. We're not all of our units are in firehouses. We still are in some police stations, but for the most part, we're in all the fire stations. So.
You were established in 1975. You just had your 50th anniversary,
Yes.
and there's, I think, a documentary you had mentioned worth seeing on that.
Yep, the Pulse of the City.
Pulse of the City.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So it is a documentary that goes from beginning to end that talks about the history of Cleveland EMS. The city of Cleveland, they had a police and they had a fire, but they never had an EMS. You would call for help, and a police officer would come an hour later and put you in a police car and take you to the morgue or the hospital. So it wasn't until a council person in the city had a heart attack and had a long response for police to get there, like 40 minutes. And then he ended up dying. It's the Zone family. And then his wife took over and established the actual EMS service. So before that, we had police and fire, but they didn't do EMS. They just came and got your body, took you to the hospital, took you to the morgue. So yeah, 1975 started because of the Zone family. And then it was established as an actual EMS service.
And like you said, that's mostly how all EMS services started.
A lot of EMS services came out of actually like funeral homes. Like they were
Yes.
the ones running that type of service, and funeral homes got into the EMS service, and then EMS kind of grew from there. I mean, emergency medicine's only 55 years old at this point, anyways, from our first residency. Like it's funny to think of how old medicine is, yet emergency medicine, EMS, is very, very young. Like, we're
Yes.
50 years.
People still don't understand what we do. People just don't understand that for the most part, when you're really, really sick, we could do the same things that a doctor at the hospital
sure.
can do for, that initial care. People just don't seem to
Yeah,
understand
like you said,
it.
a lot of times people will call 911 and be like, I just need a ride to the hospital. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
call an Uber.
Right. right.
No, I agree. And even, it's funny, like you teach that chapter in the paramedic curriculum where it's like the history of EMS. And it's like the scrolls of Harambe or whatever it was called. And then all of a sudden we're at 1970s. And it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then EMS starts. And it's like there was so much, like you said, history before, but not for us.
Yeah, 911. I can't remember. 911 wasn't even a thing until I think the 70s, right?
Yeah, because I want to say when
It was
they-
part of the documentary, wasn't
yeah,
it?
they would have a number they would have to call. So it's not 911. They'd have to actually have the phone number to the dispatch center to call them. So
I know when I was 18, I think one of my first firehouses I worked for was Burton Volunteer Fire Department. And they have a plaque in Burton Village that says, they were one of the very first places in Ohio to have a telephone system. And it was built for the fire department so that one person would pick up, it was an open line, it would ring, and then, hey, there's a fire at the Johnson farm, and they'd all hit the bell at the firehouse. I just thought that was really cool. Like that was developed for the fire service. But I mean, that was a long time ago.
right.
So you have a historically very high call volume, and I just read some numbers there a minute ago. 73,000 transports a year. So how do you deal with that? How does Cleveland EMS deal with that?
We take calls.
I mean, that's right. We do one call at a time.
One call at a time.
Yeah, they say, how do
all
you
the
eat an
time.
elephant? One bite at a time?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you get your call. So an average 12-hour shift. So we run 12-hour shifts. We could run 12, 16 calls depending on the call volume, depending on the severity of the call, obviously.
Per ambulance.
Per ambulance. So we run 21 at night and 25 during the day, as long as we're up to staffing. But yeah, it depends, the time of day, the time of year. And then they're all a different array of calls. I mean, you can go on.
I mean, it's not unheard of for there to be no ambulances available.
At 3 o'clock
Yeah,
in the
sure.
morning.
Yeah, at any time
That's
there
your
might
highest
be.
call volume time is 3 a.m.?
No, I mean, it's amazing to think at 3 o'clock in the morning, you have 21 ambulances on the street and not one is available to take a call at 3 a.m. You know, you think people will go to bed and they're sleeping.
No.
Yeah.
But they're not. So, you know, obviously our daytime is more high volume, but I mean, it's amazing when you're working night shift how you're just running all night. People are up, and they have emergencies, and they need to go to the hospital.
Have you guys always been 12-hour shifts, or have you ever been 24 hours? Like some of the fire services that are mixed EMS fire will do 12s. Lots of privates will do 12s, but
Then a lot of fire will
fire
do
will do
24.
24s, yeah.
No, we've never done 20. You were on 8s at some
Yeah,
point.
so I was hired in 2005, and I did 1 year on 12s. And I was like, this is amazing. And then we went from 12s to 8s. And we worked this weird, like, 4 on, 3 off. I honestly don't. It was, or then like 5 on, 2 off. It was weird. We did that, I think, for about 2 years. And we went back to 12-hour shifts. It just, it
Didn't
works.
work out, yeah.
It works better than the 8s.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
we've never done the 24s.
Yeah, and to think a 24-hour shift, if we're running, you can run 12 to 16 calls on a day shift, and then you're going to run 12 to 16 calls. I mean, there's no time.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just,
Yeah. When are you even catching up to document?
yeah, you're just going. It's just one thing after another, so.
Cut and paste narrative.
Don't do that.
Don't do that,
I
right?
wouldn't condone that, no.
What's your staffing look like on those ambulances? Is it, I'm going to guess, probably two providers.
2.
What are their training levels?
We have it could be 2 paramedics or a paramedic and EMT. So we do have EMTs, but they're required to have unless they're grandfathered in and they've been there a long time. Once they're hired in, they have 3 years to get their paramedic.
Okay, so you shoot for double medic ambulances.
Yes, because we
great.
run all ALS calls.
Yeah.
You don't take the average paramedic off the street, or do you give them credit? Because I know that you have your own academy.
We do.
So regardless of your status coming into Cleveland EMS, if somebody wants to apply, you're still putting them through education?
Correct. So we are currently have a class that we hired that's starting Monday, 28. We're really excited, paramedics. They're going to go through a 10-week program. We have changed it up a little bit over the years, which is nice. So the first couple of weeks, they'll be down at headquarters, going through all the city classes and some important things that we need for them. And then we're going to incorporate classroom and ride time. So they're going to come in for 2 days, and then they'll go out and they'll ride with an FTO those other 2 days, up to about 10 weeks.
How's your rate of people, going start of academy to holding them through academy and actually putting them on the streets on an ambulance? Is it turnover there?
No.
Not huge. I mean, we might once in a while lose
Yeah.
one person, but for the most part, no. Usually, we retain everyone through the academy.
That's great.
Yeah. So it's really nice.
That's hats off to the instructors there in the training center.
Yeah. Thanks. And not just me. That's
Yeah.
Anthony too.
Yeah.
So we have our Sergeant McGaw. He's our coordinator for the academy. So he's great to work with. So it makes it a little easier to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Scott, who's generally on the podcast with us too. I mean, he helps me with the paramedic class, and I know you teach once in a a while too for Portage.
We'll
And
teach.
yeah, it's a team effort, like you
It
said.
really is.
I mean, not one person can do that.
No, and I mean, all the other education sergeants come in and they help, and it's tremendous, especially when we're doing skills, because we try to get as in-depth when we're in the classroom setting, not just going over protocol and learning it, but showing us that you're proficient in skills, showing us that
Yeah.
you're proficient in giving medications and you're proficient in the protocol. So having them there to help is amazing, and it's just more beneficial for us.
Yeah,
and we
sure.
have an amazing FTO staff to teach the cadets how to do all the procedures and protocols and what needs to be done.
So they're all paramedics, but we kind of just make sure that we freshen up their skills and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know Scott and I often talk about the fact that we're very blessed that we teach, because every year we're taking a paramedic refresher class, and it's like that.
Yes.
That really helps. So I mean, just to refresh people and their skills is
Yeah,
great. And
because
that's-
we're not sure where they're coming from either. So if they're working in an ER, they may not have as many skills with medications.
Well, they may not have intubated in years because they're
Correct.
in the ER
Right.
and the docs are doing that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They're probably getting their IV reps in, but
Right.
right. EKGs.
EKGs.
Running a lot of scenarios so that they have to make decisions and like run the show, because same thing. They might work as a paramedic where they don't necessarily have to make tough decisions on the spot. So that running a lot of scenarios and that kind of stuff.
At least you guys have a lot of call volume that when they're on, they're doing their ride-alongs or they're in the field training.
You're staying fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they get a lot of experience really quick. Yeah.
Unlike some of our agencies, like, they get experience, but there's oftentimes you couldn't.
Few and far between. I mean, I'm not talking down about anybody, but there are departments in this area that will run, maybe 100 calls a year. And so it's, to your point, I mean, we need to be out there teaching.
They're doing hundreds a day. You're
hundreds
doing
a day.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they're definitely getting the experience for sure.
Yeah.
So you said 25 ambulances during the day, 21 at night.
That's fully staffed.
That's fully staffed.
staffed.
That's
What's
Fully
not
staffed.
fully
fully
staffed?
staffed. I mean, we could go down as low as, I don't know, 16, 17.
So you've got two per ambulance. Do you guys have chase cars? Do you have supervisor cars? What other assets do you guys have deployed throughout your system?
So we have supervisors. We have 3 on the street. So southeast side, downtown, northeast side, and then the west side. So they're helpful. We also have fire comes as our first
Yeah, I
responder.
was going to say you also have a first responder.
Yeah, a first responder, yes. So they're a great asset.
Do you have firefighter Lucas?
Firefighter Lucas?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Do you have firefighter
we have
Autopulse?
auto pulse.
Yeah.
I'm like, firefighter
Yeah,
Lucas?
right.
Oh, we did talk about this. There is no 12.
There is all shot. Yep.
Yeah, we have the auto pulse.
Yeah. And it works well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, I think. Yeah.
Do you have a lot of your fire guys that are first responding with you? Are they all EMTs at least? Are some of them paramedics? What kind of skills do they have to help you guys out?
So they're all EMTs. They have to get their EMT through the fire academy. Sharon and Sergeant Moyer
Teach the EMTs.
teach the EMTs in the fire academy. And then we do have a handful of them that are paramedics. So they have 4 ALS engines that run. So 36, 40, yeah. So they have to staff with a paramedic.
Okay.
So it's nice when they come because
Yeah, for sure.
So the ALS engines, the 4 of them, have all the equipment. They don't have a cot they can't transport, but they have a
everything
monitor,
else.
they have drugs, they have that kind of stuff. So they can start care. And then everyone else is an EMT at least.
So on those calls that you need an extra set of hands, are they then hopping in the front and driving you in as the firefighter EMT's driving, and then your EMS providers are in the back then?
yes. And then we could have another firefighter come in the back if need be.
Sure.
3's kind of enough, even with a cardiac arrest. 3's more than enough. So
There's not a lot of room in the back.
there's not a lot.
Yeah. So our calls are coded Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo. So lowest is Alpha and then highest is Echo. And that'll depend on if fire is sent or not.
Sure.
So Alpha, Bravo, we won't get a first responder. And then for the most part, anything above that, fire automatically gets dispatched with us. So then if we have 6 people, us 2, and then the fire department, for whatever we need them to do, drive, be in the back.
And how's your relationship with Cleveland Fire?
I think great.
Yeah, definitely since being in the fire stations. So before us being in the fire stations, when we first started, I mean, I'm talking years and years. There was some kind of contention between everyone.
Sure.
And then, honestly, once we all got into the fire stations, and most firemen will say this, they saw how busy we were and was like, wow, okay, you know what, you guys, I respect you guys are doing, and then built relationships, like actually became friends with them. And so it was a really good thing going into the fire stations and building those relationships and having them watch that we would leave at 7:15 and not get back till 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I can imagine
how hard we worked.
I think one of the big things, so my fire station, I was at Fire Station Medic 36 for many years on the southeast side, and they had never had EMS in their old station. So when they got the new station, we came in and we sat down and we had conversation. And, they'd come back and say, your EMS crew did X, Y, and Z. Okay, tell me what happened. And then I'd have to explain that we're not allowed to do it this way. Sometimes our policies and procedures are a little different. And then, oh, okay. And then the more conversation we had, the better relationship we built. So they weren't angry anymore. They were just coming and asking questions and having conversation, which was great.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. That, I mean, the more we get to know each other, the better things get all around.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, I even thought from you guys even being police stations, I thought that you'd probably have a better relationship with your police colleagues because you're in station with them, or at least on station with them. They're different, right? They're on the road, typically not in-house, as fire is typically in-house, not on the road type of deal.
Yeah, and the bases that are inside of police stations, they're pretty like off in the
Segregated.
cut, secluded.
so what is your deployment like? Do you stage ambulances in busy areas at busy times of the days? Do you do tiered response?
You guys ever post?
Yeah, it's called
De-essing.
dynamically stationed.
Insert some fancy word.
People
someone came up
love
with.
that. People love sitting in the ambulance on a street corner to be
Oh,
dynamically stationed.
That's what you want to do all day long.
Yep.
I mean, Kim hit the nail on the head when she came in and talked to the students the other day. She said, "Bring a lunch
I did.
and a change of uniform," and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
So I
I'm
mean,
like, what's going on right now?
it definitely makes sense to do that if there's a big chunk of the city. If the whole west side is working, send a unit somewhere central in the west side, or the whole east side is working.
Sure.
There's some sense to dynamically stationing.
Yes. I mean, do we want to do it? No.
Yeah.
So as busy as you are and not often having times for lunch and that, like, how is your turnover rate there? And are you doing anything to fix that?
In 2023, we lost 41 people. In 2024, we lost 39 people. And then in 2025, we lost only 16 so far. So only 5%.
And you're talking of a pool of how many?
So we averaged somewhere around, like, the service is 270, 300 people.
Yeah, no, that's getting better for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's getting better. We recently signed a new contract, a union contract with the city, and fought for a raise and got it. So that definitely helped.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah. How many applicants did we have?
We had over 200 applicants when it opened for paramedic and EMT. So, yeah.
Something's working.
Something is working. Yeah. So we got 28 that we got to hire, and I mean, we're ecstatic. We're very happy with this. So.
Most people are having a hard time as we record this in the end of 2025. Are having staffing issues. They can't find enough people to come work this job. So.
You have a couple hundred apply. That's
we were
great.
just like, why are people not wanting to come here? We have these, 4 people and 10 people, and then we kept telling our staff and our coworkers, like, hey, let's go, build us up. We're doing amazing things. Let's go. And now people they're seeing us and they want to be here. They want to be part of it.
So we've definitely had trouble in the past, for sure. Up until we've always had trouble hiring and keeping people. Ultimately, a lot of people do leave for fire jobs.
Sure.
We're kind of a stepping stone. You come work for Cleveland for a year or two, you're golden. You put that on a resume, and then you go do fire somewhere else. So we're still a stepping stone, a little for people to go to fire departments, but
a lot less when you look.
But
at
a
the
lot
numbers.
less.
But with the recent union win, I mean, I think that you're going to maybe see a decline in that. I would think.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm making it a career.
Same.
I hope other people think it's worth having a career. I mean, I love it.
the last
still.
couple of years, we've been really blessed. Our medic student tuition is going up. So this year I had 20 to start with, and I'm still at 19, and we're almost halfway through, right? And out of those, every year I have a handful that don't want anything to do with fire, which is unusual to me, but that's okay. I love EMS too. But I'm seeing more people come in and they really don't want anything to do with fire. So, I mean, it's interesting how that's changing and why. I don't know why. But
Yeah. So you're going to send them our way?
Yeah.
absolutely. I think Tim did a good job the other
yeah.
day. I've got a couple talking. So
Okay, good. They didn't have any questions for me, so I must have
that's-
just told them everything they needed to know.